Well, as you can see by the sign, I'm here at Hartman Park. It's in the town of Lyme, Connecticut. This is the field map. Obviously, I'm here, according to the sign. You can see the surrounding towns: Lyme, East Lyme, Salem. It's a nice little park. I've been here a few times. I'm going to do an everyday carry pocket dump / quick hike. What I like to carry, what I like to do when I'm hiking. First little tip that I'll give you: begin with the video, that little sign there. It's a good idea to take a photo of those signs when you enter a park. If you're unfamiliar with it, this is a pretty easy, nice little hiking park. Not too far off the beaten path, so I'm not too worried about getting lost or anything really happening here. But never a bad idea to get some images of the map. So, this morning I seen a video of a gentleman on the internet. He was a man after my own heart, and he was talking about words that bothered him a lot. This is a porta potty, not a portalette or anything else. And that brings me to the other word that I was thinking of: glamping. This would be something you would see in glamping. If you're going on a real 1 week hike, you're going to bring a trowel and dig a hole. You could consider this glamping as well. This flooded out path here. But we got this nice little convenient bridge. Try not to drop my phone in this, which will probably happen knowing me. So we got that nice little bridge. We're nice and cute. We got a bridge. It's still a great park though. Let's go up this little path here. So this is a little side path that you can go up. What's fun about this, you get a higher vantage point and you can see there's a beaver dam. Got a big river here. If you want the name of it, you're going to have to rewind and go back to the map because I forgot. About 26 degrees out this morning. Last I checked, it was around 8:30 in the morning. I'm not a morning guy. The way I counteract waking up early is just by staying up all night. Here's a closer view of the beaver dam. This is pretty cool. We got a lot of rain in this area recently. This isn't usually like this. I'm going to go down to this little bridge here. It's easy enough for me to just walk through this water. It's pretty cool. Flowing pretty good. Alright, I got this stupid selfie stick set up. You're going to hear me sniffling because my nose is draining because of this cold weather. You can see there's another beaver dam over there. Oh, check this out. Ha. Beaver's trying to take out this tree here, apparently. Steep hill, so let me carefully try and get closer. That's pretty cool, huh? He almost got all the way through. What's funny is this is a marking tree for the trail marker. Looks like they're gonna have to move it. So Hartman Park is pretty cool. Like I was saying, you know, it's kind of near the road, but you got a lot of nice water features. It's always a good hike when you got a good water feature going on here. I think that's pretty hilarious. On a side note, the beaver's given me some good content here because all these little wood chips, those are perfect for starting tinder. So I'm gonna do, drop my coffee, of course. Yep, I'm drinking an iced coffee in the middle of winter. I don't know if any of you guys are like that, but I drink iced coffee all year. So in a survival situation, what I would do, take a few of these, put them in your pocket, half the work's done for you. Should be able to start a little fire if you had to. Again, I wouldn't do this unless it was a serious situation where you're surviving for a couple nights and it's going to be cold. The good thing about New England is we got no shortage of trees and fallen brush and sticks. So up here is a nice little camping area. Again, this isn't middle of nowhere trail. It's pretty well charted out. One thing to know about Connecticut is that there's a lot of glacial rocks. Connecticut is full of rock walls and huge glacial rocks that were moved during the Ice Age. The #1 crop in Connecticut is said to be rocks. Here's some history of the park. Got another trail map. I'm not going to read it for you. I already hate talking as it is. If you want to see anything here, pause the film. I'm sure you could read it. I'm moving fast with the idea that you'll pause. There's a guy riding a bull. I don't know what that's about. Daniel and Lucy Condell are buried in the Colt Cemetery on Beaverbrook Road. It's unknown where Cuff Condell and Prentice Crosley are buried. Huh. Some pretty interesting history in this area. A lot of trail maps. There's bear around here. I'll touch base on that in a minute. I'm not sure what this is about. Some kind of sticker or whatnot. Little sign here. So this is probably my 5th or 6th time out here on this trail. I'm going to walk up here. I'm going to show you a little bit of the Native American burial remains or markers. They're pretty interesting to see. I'm going to be coming up on those soon. I've encountered a lot of squirrels so far. We got a few rock walls that are pretty cool. Maybe I'll show some of that. I'm gonna film a little B-reel in between. So I have 2 different ways I can go. Yellow and white trail. I think I'm gonna take the white trail. White trail needs a little bushwhacking done. This freezing temp is pretty good for the tick epidemic that Connecticut and this whole New England area has been having. We haven't had a deep freeze in a couple years. So, while it's not really a deep freeze today, you can see these rock walls. While it's not really a deep freeze today, essentially what we got going on is all these ticks that are, what do we got here? Somebody's glove. I don't like seeing shit like that. We got all these ticks that are not dying off in the winter, and the deep freeze is important to kill them. Now we got these meat ticks that make you allergic to meat. Never mind the fact I'm already in Lyme. You already know Lyme disease is a thing. You can see all these little pocks, warts or buckles on these trees. This is a good burl. Native Americans used to take this burl, cut it off, and make bowls and different things out of it, pipes and stuff. So it's always pretty cool to see these. I've kind of walked up to an area I haven't been in before, but I can see where I need to go. So let me get over there. Kind of cut myself off from the society. Once upon a time, I would have been stupid enough to bushwhack across that swamp, but nowadays I'm not into that kind of stuff. So back in the day, I was going to do a video series called A Fool in the Forest, which would have been a parody of all the survival shows. For example, we'd come up to a waterfall or something like this, and I'd reach in and pull out an ice cream cone or something like that. But I think it'd be more fun to do real survival, not make fun of it, because I think we're in a time in the world where it's more important than ever to know how to be self-sufficient. And I'm not going to say to know how to be a man, because women should be able to know how to do this as well. So I'm back on the right path. If you live in this area, I definitely encourage you to come here. This trail used to lead to a bridge. I'm just going to let loose here and show you guys everything, because I get paranoid that I'm filming too long and it's going to be boring for everybody to sit here and watch through this whole thing. But at this point, I'm doing it for the love of the hike. Big debate with my uncle about what that stuff is. That foam is just crud, apparently. I always thought it was frog or fish eggs, but it's some kind of crud. So we got a glamping situation again. We got the bridge here, or the water feature to walk through. It's cold as hell out here. So these boots, I guess they're waterproof. I'll just walk right through this crack. Yeah, so over here we used to have a bridge for the power company, and it was kind of rotting. For whatever reason, they took it out. Still in good shape when they took it out. You could stand on it. I feel like they just took it out for no reason, but whatever. Bunch of murky crap water down there. So come up here, be real too. Gain some elevation. Sun feels pretty nice up here. Snakes like to sun themselves out here, but I could be wrong. I think a lot of them are hibernating at this point. So, for a lot of things, unfortunately, I've forgotten more than I remember. However, these white stones usually indicate like a capstone. And it would be pretty easy to overlook this with all the rock walls that were put in by the settlers. They plowed the fields, took all these stones out of the ground, made all the rock walls you see in New England. They had nowhere to put them, so they put them to use to make border walls. But like I said before, it'd be pretty easy to overlook this, which probably predates those rock walls by a couple hundred years. Now, I don't know if a Native American is buried under there. I heard that these are just either that grave sites, or they're put there as markers. You see here, I got another one. This one's pretty interesting because it has a flat stone right on top. And you would think, oh, how would that survive all these years? Well, it's stone. And I'm thankful a lot of people respect these and haven't moved them. This one's pretty big. For all intensive purposes, these are not in Hartman Park. And these are hypothetically Native American, because hypothetically these rock formations are not acknowledged by the state of Connecticut. So this is all AI. So you follow this trail down. Got some turkey tail mushrooms. It was pretty cool. Got this tree that's fallen down. You got mushrooms all over it. People are all like, "Oh, let me eat that. Oh, that's some good eating." Let me tell you one thing, I'm not eating any of this. Firstly, it's disgusting. Secondly, I don't know if it's going to poison me. And third, who's this filling up? I'd rather starve to death. Let's be honest. Moving on. Follow this trail down and it gives me a good area. It's a field. This is where I'm going to end my hike. See all these white stones here? AI stones. This is what I was talking about before though. Then you come up across one of these rock walls. You know, those rocks are all the same age, but when they were moved, who knows? So here's the field. There's some kind of manic catbird screaming at me for being here. So I'm out here and wanted to get into what I have on for one of these little light hikes. Temperature's climbing a little bit. Rolled up the hat because it's starting to sweat. And sweating's not necessarily a good thing when you're you think that, you know, you're going to wear all these clothes and keep warm. But if you get too hot, because we're moving, when you're not moving, it's easier to be cold. But when it's starting to warm up a little bit, whatever, you got to be able to remove layers. So layers are important. You're not going to weather this with just a t-shirt. Still, at the end of the day, 30, 40 degrees out here. So you want to layer up. I have this Jerry brand jacket from Costco. I have a lot of jackets. I have a big jacket collection. I love jackets. This is my most practical jacket. It's the jacket that makes sense for me to wear. It's got a hood. You know, I got a hat on, but when it's raining, you're really going to want a hood. You can see here, Velcro that you can cinch the sleeves down. I'm not wearing any gloves. I recommend you bring gloves, whatever you like. I hate gloves, personally. I'll just put my hands in my pockets, but gloves reduce my dexterity. I don't like to wear them. But you're going to need them. It's a necessary evil. So you got, you know, pocket for your phone. It's good to keep your phone near your chest, because in this kind of cold, phones like to die. They don't have a good temperature buffer. Like if it's getting really cold out, it's good to keep it near your body. If you're in your pocket or whatever like that, like your pants pocket, you're going to have issues with it taking the brunt in the cold, and your battery's going to die quick. So you don't want that if you're really in need of, you know, survival. I have no service out here, so it wouldn't have mattered to me, but at the very least, I got a light on here, and there's pinpointing. You can, you know, not use your phone, put it on low battery mode. Try and keep it as warm as you can, and somebody can eventually ping you. And they say to stay in one spot. If you have an idea of your bearings, try and move into a wide open area. Like this field's pretty good. I won't get really into that. Let's get back to the gear. So, under the coat, I got a nice Carhartt flannel. Little pocket. You got a pen. A felt tip marker is good. I always thought of a practical use for the felt tip marker. You can't really write with a pen in a noticeable way on a lot of surfaces, but yeah, I could write on there. I don't know if you can see that or not. You're gonna have trouble doing something like that with a pen or a pencil. Like I could see that pops out against the backdrop. Okay, I touched on pants. These are nice Wranglers. I prefer just wearing jeans, but these are a nice addition to my collection. I got the pocket here. You got a double pocket here, which is nice. Fit a lot more stuff. Single pocket on this side. These are just $20 at Costco. A thick pair of socks and a high top boot. I like these because they have a waterproof side zipper with a nice sole, and they're Sherpa lined. And they're waterproof. Found those at Burlington Coat Factory. They're pretty good. And then underneath I just have a regular t-shirt. So I'll come over here. So this is my own thing that I like to do. This is a vintage tobacco tin. Heard something. Sounded heavy. Vintage tobacco tin. I got a paper towel in there to keep things from clanking around. I'll just dump it out. So I can keep a good amount of stuff in there. Chapstick. This time of the year, you need your chapstick. I used to be a big stickler on not having it. I don't think it's something I want, but now I need it. Can opener. I don't have any cans to open, so I don't know what good that is for me. My keys. And this is a little torch lighter. Got that at Dollar Tree. And what's good about this is it has a signal mirror built in. And you can look at yourself if you have something going on. You could probably fit other things in the tin. So that's basically what I'll carry on a regular hike. I got my Carhartt wallet. I'm not going to open it, but I have a little life card in there. It's got a couple tools. Then I'll get into this, my little sling bag. So this is what I would carry every day. This is what, oh yeah, let me include one more thing. Now, it's going to sound crazy, but I don't carry a knife every day because there's a lot of places where I can't bring a knife. Not that I really care what people think, but I'll give you my psychology behind this knife. This is a $10 Ozark Trail D2 steel pocket knife. Quick opening. But it's D2 steel. It has the Benchmade style locking. And if I'm going to somewhere where last minute I can't carry a knife, I can throw it out, get rid of it. I'm not going to cry over this knife if it goes missing, but it stays sharp. It's fast opening. And it has a ball bearing too. Get these at Walmart for 10 bucks. D2, can't beat it. Alright, so my bag. Camouflage makeup. I won't explain that. I got a electric Zippo lighter. It's good to have a redundancy because one is none and two is one. You get a pouch here. Again, I got this at Marshall's. This is going to be a little funny. Vaseline. Yep. Go ahead and make your jokes. However, it's very good for your hands this time of year. You're going to wish you had it if you don't. Anyways, let me put everything away. Right now I need some of this chapstick. If you're like me, your lips get dry this time. Alright, so I'm packed up here. Now, I'm lacking a couple major items, namely a bottle of water. So I'm lacking a few items that you would carry on a long hiking excursion. Excuse the light. On a long hike, you would want some kind of food, like a granola bar or some kind of trail mix. You know, all that stuff's better suited for if you're gonna watch Outdoor Boys or something like that. I'm regular boy. So these are things I just carry to feel comfortable on a small hike in case something were to happen. You never know. Bottled water, whatnot. This is only like a little 2-mile hike, so I wanted to give a down-to-earth view of what I would carry on a daily basis. Bottled water is important. I'm going to start incorporating a bottle of water into my hike because I'm very dehydrated. Oh, with a chapstick. I've learned your lips aren't really splitting if you have that problem from being dehydrated or from the cold weather. It's vitamin D deficiency, which we have in the winter. So if you got that problem, you need vitamin D, which for me as a third shift worker had to be prescribed by my doctor. And I can tell you it's helped a lot. And this is the second winter I've gone without having my lips split because my levels are a lot higher. Because I'm in the dark all the time, working and sleeping during the day. So it's nice to get out here and hike. Going forward, I think it'd be fun to do the knife making video I had anticipating doing. Trying to get better at this editing stuff, talking, rambling. So instead of trying to come up with things to say, I'm just gonna do some B-reel, close out the video. almost forgot to mention about wearing a watch. So I like this synthetic strap in the winter, opposed to a metal strap for obvious reasons. I've had this Casio for a long time. I modified it to make it almost like Incredible Hulk color. Something a little fun. World Time watch. Mr. Beaver was here again. It'd be cool if he would come out. Let's see. Oh, getting stuck by prickers. Now everything I say, take it with a grain of salt. One of the big things I've noticed in my life, at least, is the amount of gear and the amount of items I purchase on a daily basis or monthly basis, whatever. They just sit in a drawer, never used. It's easy to watch these YouTube videos, shows, and think, oh, I need that equipment, I need that gear. In reality, 90% of the time, for me, I feel as though EDC is just another niche term to sell stuff, trinkets and little things. Everybody wants to get their foot in the game. But if you got a knife and a fire source, it's pretty much all you need, really. For me, a lot of times I don't carry anything, as I mentioned before. And a lot of times you really don't need anything. You could make it work with stuff in nature. There's a lot of opportunities and ideas all around you to survive. Most importantly, though, a way to stay hydrated, a knife and a heat source. Everything else is extra. Here's a good example. An acorn topper. Got the acorn lid. Thumb over thumb. You got a little whistle. Born. I might look angry, but I'm not. I just have RBF really bad. And a monotone voice on top of it. And the sun's in my eyes. But I'm enjoying myself. I'm out here in nature. Beautiful day out. We had some rainfall, so everything's flowing nice. And I'm really hoping, don't cancel me for this, to see one of these beavers out here. Really hoping one of them appears. All right, I'm gonna head back to the car and get out of here. It was fun. Just to recap, I don't always carry a bag, just what's in my pocket. The tin is unnecessary. I like it to keep everything organized. Pair of jeans, a belt, a knife, a fire source, a redundant fire source, bottle of water, a good pair of boots, and have fun. Enjoy yourself. Spent about 2 hours out here. I feel better about my day and ready to do some stuff.